Тест. Какво по дяволите става с ходъл? Защо изглежда така размазано? Oh my god. Чакай малко да го видя. Oh my god, what the... Тей, почваме.
Bitcoin. Number one, how they first heard about it. And that's the first step to onboarding, is actually hearing about it. You know, some people, you mention Bitcoin and say, what is Bitcoin? Right? So actually, I think once you've been in it for a while, you forget that at the beginning, all of us were newbies, right? Everyone starts out not even knowing what the word means. So that's the first step. So I think that's going to be different for different people. And I think it'll vary a lot specifically between developing countries and developed countries. I think that whole onboarding process will look differently. We touched on this already a little bit when we were discussing KYC. So here where you've got, you know, stable internet, you know, mobile apps, all people can connect up and purchase through that way. But if you look at parts of Africa, South America, Asia, it's going to look very different. The process is going to be different and it's going to require different steps. But I think the top of the funnel certainly is awareness.
Absolutely. Look, I mean, we joke in Bitcoin. Bitcoin fixes blank, and it seems to fit under every single bubble we can find. And the truth is, it does. And the way we help onboard new users, new advocates of Bitcoin, is find out what that blank is for them that matters, and then explain it through that lens. For me, it was always about scarcity. The fact that they're printing money constantly means every single day they print another dollar. The dollar in my wallet is now worth less. The fact that there are 21 million Bitcoin to me is the most valuable part of that asset class. I do look at it like an asset, I will say that. It's about finding that blank. And then beyond that too, the next two layers are the user experience and the lack of friction. Cash App does an excellent job where anytime I'm with my friends, hey, do you have Cash App? Open it up. Just slide over a couple tabs and just buy a little bit of Bitcoin. Boom, there you go. Now you have Bitcoin. The friction on that is so effortless. It makes it easy. It makes it, people enjoy it as a result of that.
Yeah. It's nice. I think we've gone past the point where we need to actively like pursue people we know to get into Bitcoin. I think it's now at a point where you can just kind of let people have their touch points, and then when they come to you as the Bitcoin guy or girl in your group of friends, then you get to offer, okay, here's where to get started. Here are the resources, of which there are so many now, which is incredible. But it's you know, people are going to organically come to it and gravitate towards it, especially in the world we're living in now.
All right, y'all, we are almost out of time before the much anticipated Jack Mallers keynote presentation. Before we wrap this up, I want to give you guys a chance, like, any ideas of what could be happening, any thoughts? I know, you know, last year at Bitcoin 2021, Jack Mallers announced that, or helped announce that El Salvador would be making Bitcoin legal tender. So absolutely huge. Expectations are extremely high.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I just want to listen. I'm excited.
I honestly having you take, because I've been pounding the Apple drum, because he teased that. He's going to go with Android. They're going to partner in some way with Android because he teased us with Apple.
Okay, interesting. All right, y'all. This has been the Bitcoin Magazine Live Desk. Make sure to subscribe. Make sure to smash that like button and tune in to Jack Mallers.
Вече имахме някакви юрисдикции, които заявиха, че ще приемат биткоин за разплащане, за данъци и за всякакви други неща, и няма да се плащат данъци върху биткоин, ще се смята за валута, и се коментираше как всяка държава тук нататък и юрисдикция по различен начин ще апрочва биткоин като платежно средство. Така че вече имахме на тая тематика, нали? Не беше чак толкова голямо. За Мексико беше само, че една там депутатка или каквато е от такова, че ще натиска за биткоин да бъде прият като legal tender в Мексико, но нищо официално.
Are you all fucking ready for this or what?
Питър Макорлак, готови сме. Дай ни Jack Mallers.
Who was here last year? Who saw my boy Jack Mallers last year? Right. I'm going to bring him out now. But I don't want you guys to go down as the lamest crowd we've ever had. Everyone on your feet, as loud as you can. Bring out my boy Jack Mallers. Woo!
dope. We good? Oh, got it. Got it.
Marry me.
Yo! Yo, Bitcoin, man, I missed you. I'm back. Did you say no crying? No crying this year? No promises, bro, no promises. All right. Let's do this shit. Today's keynote is titled The King's Gambit. King's Gambit is the most forcing and sharp choice of chess opening after the very traditional e4. It's super unique in that with a simple pawn move, just a normal pleb, it opens up the entire board for free competition and inclusion and lets the best men win. And so we'll get back to that in a second. But anyway, there's a lot of people in this room. This is fucking nuts. So, yeah. So for those that don't know me, my name is Jack. I'm just a normal Bitcoiner, man. I really am. And I founded this company called Strike. This is our logo. And yeah, God, you guys are too kind, man. You gotta let me announce shit. This is the company's mission. The mission is, if we can help make the Bitcoin network easily more accessible and usable, we think we're really gonna change the world. And zooming down in that last sentence, we believe if we're successful in just helping, that Bitcoin, as the monetary network of the world, will be cheaper, be faster, more innovative, and more inclusive. We think the financial system will benefit from all these properties if we could do that. But what does that mean? What actually is a payment network? Like, what if I were to be able to help do that, what would I replace? So a payment network is a network that facilitates payment transactions between the merchant issuer, i.e. the requester, the merchant, and the source of this fucking definition. Ooh, fancy definition, right? A payment network more or less just facilitates this. Story as old as time. You got a dude who wants to buy stuff, and you got a store that wants to sell stuff. And a payment network is a network that helps facilitate that. So what's the history of payment networks? And where are we now? So, real quick, it all started off with a bunch of rich bureaucrats in New York City that didn't want to carry cash. They're going to fancy dinners in New York. They're ordering, like, how much caviar am I going to order? I don't know how much I think caviar tastes like shit, but whatever. Yeah, I mean, to each their own, right? They had this problem. And there's this club called Diners Club in the 1940s. And they didn't know how much caviar they were going to order every night. That's a huge inconvenience, how much cash I got to carry around. They figured there'd be a better way to go about this, to solve this problem. Super simple, guys. This is a really simple problem. Someone wants to pay for something. And so the founder of this Diners Club, this bro named Frank the caviar tank, he's like, hey, what if we issued a card? Let the people keep the cash at home, issue the card, they'll pay with the card. And the very first card and the very first payment network is called the Diners Club. 1949. So boom, we got our history of payment networks. 1949, we got our little timeline. We're going to blitz through this shit. Soon after that, they realized, man, what a convenience to the consumer. And Bank of America announced the Bank AmeriCard. It was going to make this a mass market product, not just a plutocrat, caviar, buffet product in New York City. And they launched the Bank AmeriCard in 1958. Boom, bang, history of payment networks. We're innovating, 1958. After that, American Express just copied the whole thing. later on in 1958. Except they just charged a little bit more to be premium, right? That's the American Express. I love this thing. Most credit cards are given away free. Most of our competitors give you the thing for free. Not us. Ooh. Not us. It's only funny because it's how it works today. Amex, baby. Black card, bro. And they launched in 1958 as well, so we move on. Then a little later, 1966, there's a bank in Buffalo, New York. And they applied to issue AmeriCards. They're like, man, this shit is cool.
Паузирам само за момент да кажа следното нещо. Първо, бил съм в Бъфало, Нью Йорк. Второ, когато 1940 година са ходили до Diners Club и са плащали с пари в брой, и дед викат, нали, сега не знам точно дали е проблема, не знам колко пари трябва да носи себе си, просто носиш повече, нали, ще имаш, но няма че не е това въпросът. Та, забележете, транзакциите с кеш са без такса, нали? Нямаш такса. Колко ми е сметката? 10 лева, значи 10 лева, готово. Обаче, когато плащам с карта, магазинът ни получава 10 лева. Има 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 до 12%, мисля, че в по-кофти държавите стига таксата. 12% човек! Да кажем, че е 5% таксата. 3% да кажем, че е. 3 размени на пари с карта, 10% от стойността заминаха. 10%! 10% марджин е много голям марджин, за да може някой да работи на печалба. Мисля, като купиш един продукт и искаш да го препродадеш, ако продадеш на 10% печалба, си е доста добра печалба. Особено в компетитив бизнес. А тия льоловци за 3 препродажби обират по 3%, което е ниско, и вземат 10% от нищо. Та тогава такива такси е нямало.
People aren't carrying cash. Consumers want to use this card thing. Hey, Bank of America, can I issue this card? And they were like, no chance. This is a closed network, Poppy. No way. And the small banks were like, fuck you. Like, who are you to tell me I can't? What? I didn't know that's how this worked. I didn't know that there was someone that got to decide who's involved and who's not. And so they launched the interbank card. At the time, you recognize these logos, they called it Master Charge. And boom, we move on. We're in 1966. A little later, Bank of America is like, shit, all these other banks are creating competing networks with us, and we're not really innovating, we're not really getting any bigger. And so they gave up control of their payments network and recruited the other top big banks to collude and remain on top, which later became Visa in 1976. Did you know that? Did you know Bank of America founded Visa? I bet you didn't. And look at these boomers innovating. Look at these guys pivoting with their startup. I love it. I fucking love it. I feel you. Same thing for me. All right, 1976 Visa. We move on. Then, of course, Master Charge was feeling the pressure, feeling the heat. All the big banks, it's called Visa. They pivoted. They're like, what's Master Charge? That doesn't make any sense. We need to rebrand to MasterCard. Another boomer. I was on a boomer New York Times binge last night. And so, boom, we go to MasterCard. And then the last piece of this is in 1981, the Diners Club got acquired by a little-known group called Citi. And that card is now known as Discover. Now, the whole reason I just ran through that is the buck stops there. I mean, when you go out tonight, you're using one of these payment networks. That's ridiculous. There's been no innovation. There's been no competition. Right? In fact, this doesn't even count. I take these off. You can't just change your name. The fuck? So we take that out. Right? And so, in reality, payment networks have not innovated in over 50 years. That's insane. That is insane. You're telling me this problem of I want to pay for something has not innovated since 1949, since the caviar buffet. That's ridiculous. Like what? It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. Right? Okay. So let's walk through it. What's actually happening? Because there's a lot of magic behind the scenes. We're going to break it down real quick. So there's a consumer, there's a merchant. There's a $100 transaction. I go to Walmart. I want to buy something for $100, let's say. So I got my card. They got their point of sale. But there's actually a lot more parties involved when I swipe at the register. There's actually 5 parties involved. There's the 2 actually participating, and then there are 3 intermediaries. First, there's my bank that issued me the card. Next, there's the bank that banks the merchant. And then lastly, there's the card network. So boom, I go swipe. I actually swipe the card. And here's what happens. The point of sale system hits up the merchant's bank and passes that card information. The merchant's bank takes the card info and pulls out a cheat sheet. And they're like, okay, hold on, let me think for a second. American Express is a 3, starts with a 3. Visa starts with a 4. MasterCard starts with a 5. Discover starts with a 6. Okay, let me pick up the phone. They call the card network. There you go, card network. Take this info. And then these boomers in their fucking cheat sheets, man. Then these boomers pick up their cheat sheet. And they're like, okay, hold on. With this card info, did this card come from Chase, Bank of America, Citi, Wells? Who issued this? And they find the bank. They call them. All right, a 3-party call. And the card processor goes, yo, we good? Does Jack have $100? And then my bank goes, yo, yeah, we're good. We're good. And then the card network goes, yo, to the merchant bank. We good, baby. And the merchant bank goes, yo, we good. You guys know that Budweiser commercial? Waza! Like, processing payments. And so then the merchant bank then calls the point of sale back, and they're like, it's all good, man. Us boomers, we checked Jack's account. He's got it. He's got it. And they say, cool. Boom. Then they give me a receipt. And because I spent over 25 boomer bucks, I have to sign it like the fucking Declaration of Independence. But then we're not done. None of the money moved. They just wazza at each other for a second. And the wazzas are fast, right? You've been at Chipotle. It's fast. So the card network goes, we got to move the money. Like, yo, you guys still here? You still on the phone? We got to actually sell the money. That's my job at the end of the day. It's what I get paid for. And they issue the statement for the $100. Then my bank, this is how it works, I swear to God. My bank goes, yo, I'm just going to keep some of this shit, man. Jack's already walking out of Walmart. Nothing they can do about it. I'm just going to take a couple bucks. So out of the $100 statement, I'll take 2. I'll give you 98. And the card network's like, Jesus, man, the brain on you. I'll do that too. 97.75. And then the merchant bank's like, I'm in, right? Let's go. More caviar for me. And then we end up with 97. And so on a $100 transaction, I spent $100. The merchant gets $97. And the 1949 payment networks take 3%. Right? That's how it works. How it works. It was invented when my grandfather was my age, but it's literally what happens when I go to Chipotle. Okay, so let's summarize. That was really complicated. Put your brain in a pretzel. That's it. That's my slide. That's all that happened. The money moved from me to the merchant. That's it. That's actually how it works. That's breaking down the magic for you. They literally just did that. And so you're telling me, since 1949, I mean, in 1949, it was probably some super genius shit. They were like, dude, check this. I'm going to go load up on caviar, and my pocket's not going to have a ton of wads of cash in it. And they were probably like, dude, you got to break that. You got to draw that on a piece of paper. But today, I mean, for fuck's sake, man. Right? That's ridiculous. What about the PayPal mafia? You know, Jack Dorsey's one of my heroes I look up to. I mean, none of that's changed? You kidding me? Because we have seen a lot of consumer innovation, right? Like I just mentioned. I look up to Jack Dorsey, all he's built. The Cash App, fucking awesome. Robinhood is fucking awesome. Like, these things are great. Chime is awesome. Even Hardway gets into Apple Pay. I mean, for the consumer, you get new P2P innovation, mobile banking, trading. There's a lot of tech innovation in finance with access to the phone. But when it comes to this, 1949 caviar, my Cash App gives me a Visa card. Robinhood gives me a MasterCard. Apple Card, Apple, MasterCard. Even Apple Pay doesn't help. Apple Pay innovated in not letting me swipe the card. I just tap my phone. But then the payment network and the banks are going to still wazza each other. Apple doesn't have a relationship with the merchant. I woke up on Twitter, there's fucking pictures you guys zooming in, there's my boogers all over the internet. Apple doesn't do it. Apple doesn't do it. They just remove the need to carry the card. It's a story as old as 1949. No one's helped the merchant. No one's helped the merchant. So as consumers are getting all the love, consumers are innovating, it's this guy. There's not been, since 1949, a superior payments network that allows us to innovate, build on financial inclusion, offer cheaper services, faster services, move the world forward. My grandfather used the same technology to buy shit as I do. That's not American. That's bullshit. Yeah, all right. So exercise. Let's build the superior payments network from scratch. It's fun. Kid can dream. Kid from Chicago could dream. So what would the network benefits be? I'd say first and foremost, it'd be the first and largest network, right? There's 5,000 US banks in America, around about. That's a lot, but like not really. I remember when I had 5,000 customers, that was cute. So I want it to be bigger. I want the biggest and largest network. I'd want it to be openly accessible globally. Anyone can join in. Join the party. If you're from Buffalo, New York, and you call, I'm not going to tell you fuck off. No way, man. Come on. Join. Then the real functionality, I would want it to be able to send and receive so I can do payments. And then lastly, the truly innovative part and disruptive part is I would want it to offer cash finality. What I mean by that is the message is the settlement. We don't got to wazah and then deal with debt and collection and final settlement later. That's what I would want. I don't know, man, could dream. Chicago kid could dream. Then as added properties to this base functionality, I would want it to instantly settle, and I would want it to be as close to free as humanly possible. That'd be tight. That'd be tight. So this is the dream monetary network, payments network. This is the dream. I know they created the Diners Club stuff in 1949, and I'm not coming at their head. I respect it. I respect it. My grandfather was probably looking up to you like, man, oh my God, thank you. But this is just, I'm just creating it from scratch. So what am I talking about here? I'm talking about Bitcoin, right? Bitcoin carries all these properties. I'm talking about Lightning. Lightning carries all these properties. And then lastly, instead of like the boomer card, like I have to carry on a card, man. Give it a QR code. It's all digital. I'm dreaming, right? And so then, if we were able to do this, we would offer superior payments. Like, this is just a fact. Nowhere, I'm not drawing like lines on a chart and projecting the price of Bitcoin. No. Don't miss me with that shit for a second. This is a true statement, whether Bitcoin's at $10 or $10,000 or $100,000. This is just a fact. It is a superior payment standard. It is a superior payments network than 1949 caviar buffets. It just is. I don't know what to tell you. And so if we were to use it to recreate what 1949 innovated on, let's go through it again. $100 transaction. Take two. Action. The point is, all of these things on the left, as cool as they are, as innovative as they are, as much as they're attracting consumers and giving them an awesome experience, it's this thing. It's this thing. If I want to walk into a Whole Foods and use a different payment network, if I want to walk into McDonald's, if I want to walk into Costco and use a different payment network, it's this thing. These guys don't operate their own stuff. It's this thing. This thing hasn't been updated since 1949. I'm dead serious. The same payment networks we walk through are the only ones they're interoperable with. So let's say, walk through for a second, if we added this one to it, finally, dust the cobwebs off, and we add a new payment network to it, the superior payment network to it, one so good you'd think you made it just on like a video game. It's an NBA 2K creator player payment network. I'd scan this QR code to make the $100 transaction. Fuck the boomer card shit. I'd be debited $100. Now, if there was software that exists, like ours do, unbeknownst to the user, it'd take my $100. So I'm not touching Bitcoin. save me with the like Bitcoin's volatile, Bitcoin's this, like Elizabeth Warren. Just let me finish this presentation for a second. There's no capital gains tax triggered. There's no volatility. It's all good. Chill. Deep breath, Elizabeth Warren. And it turns it into Bitcoin. It takes the dollars and turns it into the magic internet money thing. And then it hops on to the superior, premier. We just went over it. Fact. Data to data, line by line. The better one. And the magic internet money, pew, at the speed of light, value is moving towards the merchant. And then right before it gets to the merchant, hit the brakes. Just as it arrives, it goes back into dollars. Okay. So $100 spent, $100 received. There's no wazah. There's no 2 to 15 days of settlement. There's no 3%. Bang, bang. And it doesn't have to be dollars. So now on the left, I change it to euros. I mean, it's open, right? It's open globally. Who cares? You want euros? Do euros. You don't want fiat? Keep Bitcoin, right? It's up to you. And as the merchant, you can receive in BTC, take Starbucks points. I don't care, right? The point is we can recreate a superior payments experience with a superior payments network. That is the violent point. There is no compromise with this thing. Don't let people make you believe that. That's not true. It's all about this thing. That's what it's all about. It's all that matters. That's the real magic. This thing is not issued by a government. It's not a company. Bank of America didn't found it and rebrand it. No, there's no consortium of banks running this thing. It's open. It lives in the clouds. It feels like it's beaming. Look at these lights above me. It feels like it's just beaming down on my face. It's a beautiful, independent thing. And it offers, it's open. Anyone can join it. It's global. It's uncensorable. It's unfreezable. It's bearer. And it's cash final. It's cash final. And because of that, since 1949, we could, in theory, if we used it, make payments. Hasn't been innovated in 55 years. Cheaper, faster, more innovative, and more inclusive. So, what would that look like? Because, no, for real, I mean, that made a lot of sense, right? Yeah, that made sense. It made sense. There's no flaw in that logic. There's no flaw in that logic. It's just a superior payments network. It took us 55 years, but man, is it damn good. I'll cut humanity a break. I wasn't born yet. I'll cut my boomer friends. Hey, where's my dad? Cut you a break. Cut you a break. Cut you a break. So what would innovation look like? I'm about to show you. I'm about to reel off a bunch of announcements. Here we go. So first and foremost, Strike's officially partnered with Shopify. Yeah. So it's live. Go check it out. And as soon, so, I mean, guys, I'm a kid, man. I love this shit. The world's going to regret giving me this much attention, man. And so I dream, I look up to this brand, Warren Lotus. It's one of the best streetwear fashion brands in the world. Like all my favorite athletes and my favorite rappers, they all wear it. Super popular. And I call them, I'm like, yo, guys, there's a cheaper, faster, more innovative, more inclusive way to accept payments. I'm not pulling your chain, bro. I swear to God. You use Shopify, right? He goes, yeah, I use Shopify. I mean, and I know that you used the Waza rails from 1949. But let me plug you into this. Let me plug you into this. And so, this is a demo. Watch this. Oh. How do I play the video, guys? You guys are killing me. You guys are killing me. Oh, we got it. We're chilling. We're chilling. We're going to run over, but that's all right. Hold tight. I got some really crazy shit coming. Hold tight.
Изкараха мишката. Ага, тръгна.
All right.
Това е тази фаза. Добре. Strike Commerce. Биткойн. Окей. Чакай, преместя камерата. Cash App, не знам с какво. Paid колко са точно. Pay. You paid 115
Okay.
колко са точно.
Yes, 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 yes. Hey, the next video is very, very important. The next video is very, very important. Okay, that's fucking cool. It's really fucking cool that Cash App just checked out with Warren. Now, I want to walk you through this. Let's go through it. Let's break it down. It looked like a lot of magic. What just happened? The transaction, I'll publish this, you can play it back. It's $115.94. Okay, so Warren was the merchant, and Cash App was on the consumer side. This is shit that has never been possible. First innovation since 1949. Okay? So boom, we initiate the payment.
Паузирам само за малко, извинявам се, защото искам да го кажа това нещо. Мислих си през цялото време сега какво ще направят. Lightning Network разплащане ли ще направят? Аз трябва да имам биткоин или ако аз трябва да имам биткоин, аз имам, обаче друг човек няма и така нататък. Защото видях падам плащане в светощо и да опишеш в долари. Та начинът, по който го разбирам, най-вероятно след това ще кажа е, че ако си клиент на тях, на Strike и имаш пари, долари, дебитнати в техния акаунт, от техния акаунт вече ще отидат до другите хора през Lightning Network, нали, с ниските такси. Но ако платиш с дебитна карта, то пак отива през старата система и пак ще си имаш старите такси.
What happened? The Cash App user spent just over 250,000 sats. The Bitcoin hopped on to the superior payment network, the one that's better than the boomer was AmeriCard network. There's only two parties involved in this transaction. There were not three other intermediaries, only two. The Bitcoin moved at the speed of light, and then just before it got there, converted to dollars, and Warren got $150, $15.94, and he was mind blown. He was like, yo, it didn't work. I didn't get any Bitcoin. I'm like, no, dude, I know. He's like, how am I going to report this on my audit financials? We're a big company. We sell millions of dollars to close every single launch. That was insane. It just got there right away, right? And I could have used Strike on this side if I wanted to. And so I don't like spending my Bitcoin. I could have spent the dollars, and it could have auto-converted. Even cooler, a user in Australia could have used the wallet of Satoshi and used Aussie dollars, right? And if Warren, the thing that's cool about Warren, whatever happens on the left, Warren gets $115. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter what's going on the left. Warren used a superior payment network to receive the $115.94. He doesn't need to report BTC on his balance sheet. He doesn't have to deal with volatility. All of what the boomers say about this industry and this payment network is not true. Warren wants to go buy Bitcoin with it, he can. It's about this. It's just about using this to replace the old. So Warren, actually, I got to plug this in. He decided to just drop some new clothes today. They sell out really, really fast. I got one of my best friends in the front row. I'm like, dude, now this is definitely running over. I want the black one. But at 5 p.m. Eastern, you can go buy Warren Lotus gear with your Cash App, with your node over Tor. You can do anything you want. He's going to get dollars no matter what. That's real. You can go check it out. Okay. So we did the e-commerce stuff. That's good. Now, any online merchant that uses Shopify can accept payments without the 1949 Boomer Network, receive it instantly, cash final, no intermediary, no 3% fee, no, hey, I'm just going to hold on to that shit. But what about this? 80% of payments are still done in person. No matter how innovative Cash App is, no matter how awesome Venmo is, no matter how cool Robinhood is, they all integrate the Lightning Network. It doesn't matter. Because when I walk into a grocery store, they don't understand it. They only understand the Diners Club caviar party. So that's why Strike's also partnered with Blackhawk. Blackhawk is one of the largest payment providers in the world for alternative payments. They have 400,000 storefronts and 37,000 partners. They're the ones that are behind shit like this. Have you ever checked yourself out at a CVS? You ever used one of these? And then my haymaker, we've also partnered with the largest point-of-sale provider in the entire planet, NCR. Yeah. Because we just got to give merchants the new superior alternative payment network. And so, this year, have you guys ever shopped at any of these? Any of these? Yeah.
Best Buy, Whole Foods, Home Depot,
McDonald's, Walmart, Macy's,
Starbucks,
Best Buy. I mean, no, this is not in another country. This is not a test pilot somewhere. No, this is in the United States of America. You're going to be able to walk in to a grocery store, to Whole Foods, to Chipotle. You want to use a Lightning node over Tor? You do that. You want to use the Cash App? You do that. If Chipotle wants Bitcoin, I'll give them Bitcoin. I'll settle in Bitcoin. Chipotle wants to just replicate the boomer payment networks from 1949, just better and get instant dollars. I'll give them dollars. It doesn't matter. It's a new, innovative, superior payments rail that is finally embedded and distributed into our lives. And so I used it for the first time recently. Watch this.
Сега ще покажа видеото. Дед кача, много важно.
Yo, we're in sunny Chicago. We're going to walk into a grocery store and buy some Coke over Tor. A card network is not going to process this transaction. Bitcoin's open monetary network is going to process this transaction. Let's go!
Това е много важно. Това е много важно за следващите CBDC-та и желанието за контрол.
I'll do the Coke first. Let's buy some Coke over Tor, ladies and gentlemen. Boom. Open payment standard. This grocery store is showing an open payment standard to receive dollars in their cash register. I could use any Lightning wallet I want. I'm going to go with Zap, which is connected to my Lightning node running over Tor at my house. So I simply hit send, scan the QR code, confirm by entering my PIN, and Bitcoin is leaving my node over Tor as dollars enter her cash register. Boom. I'll go with Peanuts next. Shout out Peanuts, if you know, you know. And I will go with the one and only Cash App. 70 million Americans can do this. I'm simply going to scan the QR code again, enter my PIN, and confirm the Lightning payment. Money is leaving Cash App over an open payment standard and entering dollars in her cash register. Can I use pay with QR code for that Bud Light? Thank you. We've also integrated for...
Трябва да го паузирам, защото е много важно да изкоментирам. Първият експеримент, който направи, беше с ЗАП, който е седнал уолета в Сатоши. В уолета в Сатоши имаш Сатошта, имаш биткоин. Как са заключени там биткоин? Благодарение на сегвит, благодарение на умните договори, защото са до някъде умни договори, са заключени биткоини върху блокчейна на определен адрес и са отворени върху Lightning Network. И върху Lightning Network вече може да си ги разменяме наляво надясно, ляво надясно, ляво надясно без край, без блокчейна да разбира за което. Съответно, Lightning Network, плащанията са анонимни, тайни, никой не знае за тях, освен човека, който изпраща и човека, който получава. абсолютно като биткоин са нецензуруеми, не могат да се спрат по никакъв начин, не хабят никакъв ток, тъй като изисква Raspberry Pi, което е едно малко компютърче, няма тежки хардуери, копачки, вентилатори, не знам си какво. Супер елементарно е, буквално телефонът ти може да бъде Lightning Node. Така, и изпрати и си плати. Какво става обаче? Въпросът е какъв софтуер се интегрира. Софтуерът, това, което прави през Lightning Network, след това да конвертира в долари и магазина получава долари, което означава, че на техния ще неща не трябва да ги ощетоводиш. По време на ощетоводяването те ощетоводявачи са получили долари, а не биткоини. Те биткоини не пипат, което е много важно, защото иначе става много сложно да го ощетоводиш. Другото е, добре, получаваш биткоини, кога ще ги продадеш? Ще ги държиш ден ли, седмица ли, месец ли? Ще почнеш техникал анализ да определиш кога ги продадеш ли? Не става. Така. Те получават долари, а човека прати с Lightning Network с wallet в Satoshi. Това го знаем. Втория пример обаче, и новото беше, че он от друга страна получава долари. Второто нещо обаче, което те показаха, беше, че с твоят Strike акаунт можеш също да платиш. Сега въпросът е как зареждаш Strike акаунта. Зареждаш си Strike акаунта, когато вършиш банковата си сметка, направиш банков превод и преведеш 1000, 2000, 3000, 5000, 10 000 долара, колкото искаш. Но това е KYC. Какво означава, че е KYC? Банката ти да знае кой е, защото тя е компания с 1000 регулации. Strike знаят кой си, защото те са компания финансова с 1000 регулации. Съответно, ти си заредил долари в твоята сметка и в момента, в който препращаш до магазина, за да платиш сметката си, ти Strike знае за тая сделка, магазина, нали, реално после може да се проследи по принцип това плащане и така нататък. И това вече е KYC, знаете кой е. А в първия пример той нарочно каза over the Tor network. С други думи, че Lightning Node ти напълно анонимно си го стартирал, си го пуснал, никой не те знае къде си в момента твоя компютър, който е с Lightning Node, може да си в Китай, може да си в Германия, може да си в Холандия, никой не знае, тъй като ти просто прехвърляш данни по интернета и съответно може да се ползва VPN, който да си мини IP-то по целия свят. Тъй като няма значение, въпросът е, че транзакцията е текст. Той текст няма никакво значение откъде ще е, от Китай, от Германия, от България, от Щати, той е текст. Текста валиден ли, транзакцията става. И по този начин той прехвърли тук що Сатошите до магазина и въпросът е, че това е еквивалента на кеш, на пари в брой. Защото аз ако отида и сложа така една маска, особено сега покрай заразата, нали, носи маски, вляза с маската в магазина, платя така с QR кода, напълно анонимно, аз тук що купих там от магазина и никой не може нищо да ми каже, нали, ти кой си, ти какво си, не знам си какво, правителството не знае за какви пари съм схарчил, така нататък, той е пари в брой. И така е било много години подред. Нали? Той, който е тежестта върху него за данъците е върху магазина, който той ми продава на мен, трябва да продаде на печалба, да сплати данъците и не знам с какво. Но аз реално с пари в брой, нали, аз мога да работя в сивата икономика, аз мога да работя, да я знам, като строител, като не знам си какво, като градинар и да ми се плащат пари в брой. И аз на тия пари не е нужда да плащам данъци. Просто коментирам, не казвам, че еди си какво, просто коментирам, че така е света, с парите в брой. Но с картите вече няма как, тъй като минават през твоята банкова сметка и трябва да доказваш, нали, произход и така нататък. И в момента той, който показва през Lightning Network, той плати един вид с пари в брой все едно, с анонимни пари. След което през Strike показва, че ако искаш, може да си заредиш, нали, акаунта в Strike с долари и да плавиш тая транзакция, изпраща $100 през Strike акаунта си и от другата страна мърчента получава $100, без 3% такса за Visa, MasterCard, каквито бяха там другите ишуари. И тия point of sale, такова статистика, нали, че са 1 на всеки 6 света, което означава, че са около колко и да там, 18% или 17% от всичките вече поддържат такъв вид разплащане. 17% от всичките посттерминали в света в момента поддържат биткоин разплащане. Това е лудница.
Point of sale systems that are not interoperable and ability to pay with a QR code. So I'm going to present my QR code. Awesome, thank you. I have it programmed to open my Moon wallet. I'm going to confirm my PIN. I have the payment pulled up right here. I'm going to send. Should be good? Yeah. Good to go?
Yes, we're good to go.
So Let's walk through that. Those point-of-sale systems haven't had a new, superior payment network in 55 years. 55 years they haven't had a better way of getting dollars, and merchants been abused by inflated pricing from the elite for 55 years. That grocery store just got my dollars, or my Bitcoin, or my note over Tor. It doesn't matter. Instantly for free. A superior, inclusive, innovative payment network. All right, back to the cartoons. Let's go. So the payment was $1.46. This payment network can do any size, by the way. It doesn't matter. So all we did was took this, right? 1949, dust cobwebs off. We added this. And so we used the superior monetary network, and the first transaction was my node over Tor, right? I spent, what did I spend? A little over 3,000 sats for Coke. Coke over Tor. It's a joke that writes itself, honestly. And the Bitcoin hopped onto the superior payment rail at the speed of light, entered into the store, and then right before, it turned itself into dollars. So to the grocery store, it's no different than someone using their Apple Card or their Cash Card or a card issued by their bank. They just get dollars. They don't care. It's just way cheaper, way better, way more customers, way more global. That's it. And then the second one, I use the Cash App. 70 million Americans can do this. 70 million Americans can settle directly without WhatsApp payment networks in 1949 with merchants. Sats left my wallet, dollars enter the account. Then the third was Moon Wallet. I care so much about this that I integrated the Boomer gun scanner so you could show your phone with an open interoperable QR code, and they could scan your phone and be interoperable to settle dollars with them. I could have used Strike. If I didn't want to spend my Bitcoin, I wanted to do dollars over the Lightning Network. I could have used if the boomers want to come on, they could come on. It's for everybody. If a bank integrates with the Lightning Network and they want to issue my payment, they can. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. And the merchant could have been Square. Could have been a Square point-of-sale terminal. The point is this. The point is this. It's a superior payments network that we've been longing for 55 years. It's just better. No boomer cheat sheets, no wazaa, no late 2 to 15 day settlement. It's this. It's this. Anyone can build anything. Anyone can build anything. Because you know the America that I want to walk into? When I walk into Whole Foods, when I walk into Chipotle later this year and now, I want to be able to use my Lightning node over Tor if I care about my privacy. I want to be able to use the Cash App. I want the Elon Musks and the Jack Dorseys and the Jeff Bezos and everyone in this room to be able to compete and build tools for me to check out at Walmart and sit on the same level playing field as the banks and the card networks. And it's an open standard. May the best man win. So I'm not done. So in order to ensure that, because at the end of the day, this is a better United States of America. With an open payment standard, there is no American left behind. Elizabeth Warren, if you don't like the way it's volatile, if you don't like the way the logo looks, if you don't like the fact that I curse, I'm sorry, I am who I am. But you cannot argue with the fact that an open payment standard, that any bank that doesn't bank a US customer, they could download an open source wallet, they could check out at Walmart themselves. This is about America. And we need to protect our ability to innovate. Yes, yes. It's better for everybody. It's better for business. Grows your margins. It's more inclusive. It's more innovative. It's cheaper. It's faster. Nobody loses. Everybody's invited. It's a fair game. And so that's why I've also been working with policymakers to ensure that we have the right to do that. We have the right to do that, to innovate and build freely in this country. So I've been working with Senator Lummis to make sure that in this country, in the United States of America, that we support this open payment standard and it isn't threatened by anybody else. So the quote reads, if America wants to remain the global financial leader, we need to foster innovation. Strike's announcement is a valuable contribution toward bringing America's financial system into the 21st century. I'm working to bring smart legislation to the digital asset space so that innovators like this can be integrated into America's financial services industry. And by doing so, we can protect consumers and empower individuals and small businesses by encouraging responsible innovation. This is 55 years in the making. We did this. There's a lot of silence. There was a lot of no innovation. It was a lot of artificially inflated prices. It was a lot of fight. But we did this, man. Let's fucking go. Excuse my language. If I want to mine Bitcoin in my home and walk into CVS later this year and use the Moon Wallet, who's to tell me I can't do that? Now, nobody. Nobody.
тук що това, което каза е, ако аз купая вкъщи биткоин и съответно нямам KYC, никоя борса не ме знае кой ми е адреса. Аз съм купач, който тук що получи блок рeward, той отиде на моя адрес, кой е този човек, никой не знае. Благодарение на последния апдейт, който се казва Taproot, благодарение на Taproot, адреса освен това може да е Smart Contract адрес, тип Lightning Network, който даже няма как да се разбере, че е Lightning Network адрес, че са заключени в момента там биткоините. И в следващия момент те са отпуснати биткоините, които аз тук що съм изкопал върху Lightning Network. Отивам в магазина, вадя си моя Moon Wallet, който е non-custodial wallet, сканирам, плащам и тук що, съжалявам, така е реалността, без да платя никакъв данък на никой, защото за нищо не съм му длъжен. Аз честно си изкарах пари, като купаях биткоин и после харча парите в магазина, без въобще да се знае, нали, кой съм аз и какво съм направил и откъде съм ги взел и така нататък.
So this is a long presentation, that's a lot of stuff. So here's how it's going to work. You can go here if you're a merchant and you want to be a part of this. I mean, I'm talking about big companies, guys. You guys saw those slides. You know, someone had to do a lot of the regulatory and engineering, and I know converting into dollars and stuff, just so that everyone in this room has the right to walk into a grocery store over tour and go to Chipotle over tour if they ever so feel like it. And so if you're a merchant, you want to be a part of this, you want to be part of this rollout with these big companies, you can go here. You can just let us know. 1 in 6 point-of-sale systems are by NCR. Blackhawk was behind the Venmo and PayPal checkout at CVS. I mean, I'm dealing with big businesses, and we will have Lightning integrated in the coming months, and Shopify's live now. And the last thing I'll say is I really want to close with this. This is like, I mean, it was my company, I'm very proud of my company. We made a big step forward and have some really cool partners now. But this was just a presentation about a story, man. This was a story of consortiums forming from financial services industries to form payment networks that have had such a strong grip and foothold, and there hasn't been anything superior that improves on cheaper, faster, more innovative, and more inclusive access. No one's been able to allow for a superior payments network to be embedded into a Walmart or to a Chipotle, to a CVS, to a Whole Foods. And so this is our announcement. It's not my announcement. We did this. And so, yeah. And so I just want to say, don't keep going. For all the ones that said Lightning Network was vaporware, it's dumb, it has no users. No users, get the fuck out of here. I'm going to walk into a Walmart and use it. No users, my ass. All the altcoins and the shitcoins, don't let it bother you. Keep going. We did this. We allowed for, you want more privacy, you want the blue one, you want the green one, you want the fast one, you want the cool one, customer preference, customer choice, the individual sovereign right is valued. And merchants can opt for whatever payment network experience they want, and we did this as Bitcoiners. This is a massive step in payments and moving the world forward in a way that has not been moved in 55 years. So that's all I got. I love you guys. Thank you, man.
You are back with the Bitcoin Magazine coverage of Bitcoin 2022 live here on the Marathon Desk. I'm here once again with ZubiQ and Alex, and we just watched Jack Mallers deliver the King's Gambit, his play on Bitcoin's move to disrupt the payment networks that power all of our merchant processing and financial activities in normal everyday life. This is a huge move to implement Bitcoin in a not so in-your-face way. You know, this is not necessarily merchants having to accept Bitcoin, but rather using the Bitcoin underlying network. And we all know, as Bitcoin believers, that it is better than the legacy tech. It has less permission than the legacy tech. And I think that this is huge. Alex.
Too many third parties today. Too many third parties taking a cut whenever I want to spend my own money. This is the solution. The writing's been on the wall. It's coming. Bitcoin's coming for these big institutions that are taking a cut of every payment you make.
Look, based on this, you can go to a McDonald's and buy a Big Mac off of the Bitcoin network without paying those fees. You can walk into a Chipotle and buy your burrito or bowl or whatever you want using the Bitcoin network. The game is forever changed. Jack Mallers delivered.
Yeah, for real, man. I think that the power of this and the scale of it hasn't quite sunk in yet, because I think due to the way it was announced, it was like, okay, I have POS and Blackhawk, okay, what does this mean? But the ability to actually use this network, both from a consumer perspective, but perhaps even more importantly from a merchant perspective. I mean, if you run a store and you have to take 3% is going out on every single sale, which is pretty much the norm, 3%, 4%. That's a lot of money lost. That's millions, that's billions. That's billions. So for merchants, for people who actually run stores, retail, whether it's e-commerce or it's brick and mortar, this is huge.
Yeah, this means you can reasonably expect to live your life effectively with Bitcoin only. Receive Bitcoin, spend in Bitcoin. The merchant can receive dollars. Over time, more and more services are going to adopt this, because why not? There's no loss. You have to adopt this technology.
Yeah, and to a lot of Bitcoin naysayers, this is huge. Because people, you can't use, nowhere accepts Bitcoin, right? That's always that's something people say, right? Well, you can't spend it. What do you do with it? You can't spend it in. But it's like, oh, okay, if like that, suddenly you can go to a CVS or a McDonald's or Chick-fil-A or whatever and spend Bitcoin, then yeah, that one is that's one objection knocked down right there.
We just watched Jack Mallers walk into a Publix grocery store in that video and buy a Bud Light with Bitcoin off of the Bitcoin network, and the merchant itself received cash. As more merchants start to see the benefits of this, look, let's not beat around the bush. That 3% that goes to the house, as I like to say, that's not going to go to the merchant's pocket. The savings is not going to be felt on our end. However, as more merchants start to see the benefit of this, they're going to just push for their clientele. Hey, you want to pay me? That's fine. If you can, pay me here. I'll incentivize you. I'll give you a 1% discount. And all of a sudden, that savings, you're going to see an incentive structure built off of getting merchants to use this for their clients.
Yeah, and it's an easy sell to merchants.
Yeah.
It's an easy sell. I mean, I run an e-commerce store. I've done retail sales before, and those little 3% on every single sale, they hurt, right? It adds up. It adds up very, very quickly. And so it's such an easy sell to merchants to get them to adopt this because they benefit from it. It's better than
I never connected the dots that you do push an enormous...
И това е много важно, дето каза. Ако Visa взема 3%, и върху Lightning Network то няма да е 0, ама ще е 0,1% примерно. Това, което могат да направят от Strike е да кажат следното нещо. Започнете да приемате плащания през нашата система и вие ще получавате, ние ще вземаме от вас не 3% такса, ами 2%, което означава, че те на момента си вдигат с 1% стойността на парите, които получават. 1% не звучи много, нали? 1% е плюс-минус, не е голямата работа. Обаче, той 1% е от цялата сума. Ако един магазин ти продава олиото на 6 лева, примерно, те са купили на 5 лева. И тогава той 1% вече, нали, не е 1%, ами идва 4-5% примерно, увеличава на тяхната печалба. Вече си заслужава. А ти като махнеш разходи, не знам си какво от чистата печалба, сигурно е 15-20% той 1%. От чистата печалба, след разходите. И с други думи, тогава като чуят 15-20% повече чиста печалба накрая, това просто звучи много добра сделка. Така. И каква е реално механиката? Как така ще се увеличат с 15-20% чиста печалба? Клиента отива в магазина, плаща през тая система, която само 0,1% е таксата. Магазина, вместо да му се удържат 3% от 100 лева сметка да получи 97, той ще получи 98 лева. Сега въпросът е, къде отиват другите 2 лева? 1 лев отива за страйк, нали? Той се го прибира в джоба. Прави също като прави Visa, де те задържат 3%, само че те задържат 1 лев. А другия 1 лев, примерно, е програма за инсентив, да стимулират потребителите да използват тази нова система. По този начин моята сметка в магазина, вместо да бъде 100 лева, става 99 лева, ако аз плащам през Moon Wallet, Wallet в Satoshi, ZBD Wallet, не знам си какъв Wallet, каквото си искам, Strike акаунт, каквото си искам. 100%, нали знаете, Кракен, например, нали, те добавиха изтегляния на биткоини през такова. Директно от Кракен да мога да платя. Та, long story short, по този начин хората директно получават един кешбак. Директно, всеки човек получава на момента кешбак. Ако плаща, забележете, много важно. Не с кредитна карта, ами с дебитна карта. То няма да е с карта, това е друг въпрос, но въпрос, че разликата между кредитна карта и дебитна карта е, че кредитната карта плащаш с пари, които не са твои, а са на банката и ти ги вземаш на заем и трябва до края месеца да ги върнеш, а дебитна карта означава, че плащаш нещо, което вече ти имаш в наличност. И в момента говорим за биткоини или долари, които ти вече имаш в наличност. Освен това, нали, Lightning Labs заявиха, че ще добавят стейблкоини върху Lightning Network. Когато имаш стейблкоини върху Lightning Network, биткоин е помпни до 60к, те нам продаваш 5% от портфолио да затвориш, да имаш малко кеш и него си го харчиш. До момента, в който биткоина ни помпне отново и отново да го превърнеш в стейблкоини, които инфлацията ги яде, но заради това винаги държиш 5% от портфолиото в фиатни пари, 95% в биткоин. И с тия фиатни пари, с тия долари, можеш през Lightning Network да плащаш по тази нова система, получаваш 1% кешбак, то не е 1% кешбак, то е просто 1% намаление на сметката, защото плащаш през Lightning Network. Магазина взема 1% допълнително повече пари, което се равнява на 20% повече за тях чиста печалба, Strike печелят 1%. Всички са щастливи, нали? Всички са щастливи. На мен ми се спести 1%, на магазина му се спести 1%, кешап, Strike получават 1%. Всички сме щастливи. Обаче забележете каква е разликата. Че от тук нататък идва следващата конкуренция. И тя казва, знаете ли какво? Аз не искам 1% да задържам. Аз ще задържам 0,5%. Съответно, на човека сметката му няма да му намалим с 1%, ще му я намалим с 1,2% примерно, ако вие интегрирате нашата система вместо системата на Strike. Следващия момент обаче пак Strike примерно те не искат да е race to the bottom, да си намалят марджина, те казват не. Дайте опцията хората да плащат през нашата система и през на конкуренцията система, а нашите лоялни клиенти, които плащат през нашата система, примерно трупат някакви точки, които им дават вече някакви бонуси и някакви такива неща. Съответно се получава една конкуренция, защото в момента каква е конкуренцията, човек? Като тиш банката, питат ли виза картата ли искате или MasterCard карта? В момента виза карти имат следната промоция, която ви дава еди си какво. Та шаци ти дават, един среден пръст дълбоко в гърлото, нищо повече не ти дават. Нямаш право на никакъв избор, никаква конкуренция, няма никаква иновация, няма, както казва Джак Ма от 50 години. А сега, благодарение на Bitcoin Lightning Network, 1001 стартъпа могат да се завърят, които да мислят най-различни начини как хем да инсентват клиентите да минават през тях и да плащат през тях, хем в същото време те имат бизнес модел, който печели пари и магазините имат причина, поради която да приемат плащанията. Всеки един магазин, прочетах преди малко в чата, всеки един магазин, който няма в момента пост-терминал, нали? И приема пари само в брой, което им губи времето. Трябва да занимават с тия пари, да гледат да не ги загубят, гледат да не объркат сметката, да го пресметат, не знам с какво. Занимаваш буквално да върнеш средство. Все едно се 90-те години. Та, всеки един такъв магазин сега ще има причина защо да добави пост-терминал, защото клиентът на момент ще е доволен, защото ще има 1% ще има по-евтина сметка, той ще се получи 98% и с някаква инсентив програма, пък от страна на payment провайдера, може дори да се доближи още повече. А по този начин, как да кажеш, получи допълнителни клиенти, които аз лично знам за такива клиенти, влизат в магазина и питат, мога ли да платя с карта? И човека каза, не може. В такива магазини най-малкото добавят плащането с карта, дори да не е с 1% по-малко сметката, поне няма да губят тези нови клиенти, които искат да платят с карта. Не с карта ми е дигитално.
Enormous amount of your own independently produced music, content, swagger, and like obviously being able to use the existing payment infrastructure that you are familiar with, but get the benefits of Bitcoin and you see that in your pocket. Like again, this is one of those things where it's not as in your face as El Salvador, but under the hood, it's just making wonders happen. And again, we were talking about the difference between Bitcoin as an asset versus Bitcoin as this network. And I think that this presentation really highlights that.
And speaking of that network, I mean, think about the fiat network. Here in America, we're awfully, privileged with it. But as we heard from Francis and Ghana just earlier today, 70% of sub-Saharan Africans can't pay their own fees to access their bank account. Just to clarify, anyone on earth can join the Bitcoin network. That's 8 billion people. The system is open and permissionless. So this is a very inclusive technology. I can't emphasize that enough.
No, I mean, look, this is, in my opinion, this is bigger than El Salvador.
Това е много важно да се разбере също какво казаха току-що. Разликата е, че да имаш банкова сметка в Уганда или не знам къде в някаква африканска държава, дет не ги знам, трябва да имаш банка, която трябва да има охрана, която трябва да има леличка, които трябва да имат хартийка, за да ти напечатат договорчето, за да може да имаш също така, трябва да имаш лична карта, за да можеш да си напишеш трите имена, не знам си какво и за да можеш, нали, да си отворят банков акаунт, за да отговарят на всичките възможни регулации. Скъпо, това означава пари, кеш, пара на ръка, Киро Брей където вика. Без тия неща не можеш да имаш банкова сметка, не можеш да имаш банкова карта, не можеш да си част от финансовата система. Което какво означава? Много хора от бедните държави остават без банкова сметка. Работят само с пари в брой. Благодарение на Lightning Network, единственото нещо, което ти трябва е електричество и интернет. Имаш ли електричество и интернет, а в момента буквално повече държави, повече хора имат достъп до електричество и интернет, отколкото хора, които имат достъп до банкова сметка с банкова карта и онлайн банкиране. Всеки човек, който има електричество и интернет, може да се вържи към Lightning мрежата, която не изисква никакъв ток, изисква някакво минимално устройство. И това устройство могат да се вържат хиляди, милиони потребители към него. Не е нужно всеки човек да си има отделно такова устройство. Вързваш се към един Lightning Node, правиш си един QR код, който ти е Lightning портфела, някой ти изпраща сатошта, в бъдеще, след като Lightning Labs се разработят стейблкоиновете, изпращат ти стейблкоини и имаш стейблкоини на твоя адрес. От него момент ти си готов да транзакваш през Lightning мрежата благодарение на минимално количество ток, което ти хаби телефона и интернет и да разплащаш онлайн. Това днес е невъзможно с банковата система. Невъзможно. Така че да, отворена мрежа с безплатен open source код, безплатни апликации, които всеки може да свали и на момента да има банков акаунт на телефона си.
CK, you put it best. It's not as in your face, but the effect that this is going to have, both within America stateside and then globally, the game has changed forever. The financial markets have been disrupted in a way that we had expected Jack Mallers to do, and he has delivered that for us. It is now up to us as Bitcoiners to continue to push forward that education. He had an excellent slide that I think every single politician that has ever even spoken the words, I want to push financial literacy into our public school systems. If that slide is not in your financial literacy course, you are doing it wrong. Plain and simple.
I think one thing with technology in general is that in order for adoption to happen on a massive scale, it has to be better than the previous system. It has to have a benefit. And this is something that up until now hasn't really been the case. I mean, there have been, of course, there have been benefits to Bitcoin, but in terms of actually spending or receiving on a day-to-day basis, I mean, you went and bought a Coke, right? I mean, this is groundbreaking. I think it'll actually kind of take a while for it to sink in. I don't think it's fully registered yet with a lot of people. I don't think it's registered by myself.
I'm so happy for my unbanked only Bitcoin friend over here. Finally able to go to a grocery store and buy something.
Finally buy stuff.
All right, gents, we are pushing up to the end of our time. Jack took a long time, and we do have a hard stop. I want to give y'all a chance.
Това е много важно, нали, дето се пошегуваха или не се ли пошегуваха моя unbanked friend. Е, така, спрямо искам съм на 100% в биткоин. Нали, някои хора, човек, днеска четахме в Reddit една тема, много волатилен бил, много стрес, много не знам си какво и така нататък. Аз пък напротив, аз съм напълно окей, защото вече се напечава, нали, веднъж като си на 3-4-5x, не ти пука, просто не ти пука, паднал малко, вдигнал съм малко, има значение, пак съм злезки на печала. На 100% искам съм в биткоин. Аз в момента, в който си получа заплата, отива в биткоин. Просто не ме интересува човек. Да бе, окей, купя на 50к, падна на 40к. Голямата работа, следващата заплата, ще дойде, ще купя на 40к. Падна на 30к. Голямата работа, ще дойде, следващата заплата, ще купя на 30к. Съмнявам се повече някога да падне на 20к. Съмнявам се, дори да стане обаче. Так? Идва следващата заплата, ще купя на 20к. И сега идва плане, бъл такъв, що наради всичко на 20к. Защото бачкам, пиша кода, менажирам хора за пари. Това ми е професията, това е което правя, това е в което съм добър. А не аз си преструвам, че мога да предвидя бъдещето. Съответно. Както съм купувал биткоин на 6к, а пада после на 3к, после купих обаче на 3к. 3500, падна на 3200, купих на 3200, което между другото мисля, че 3400 беше най-ниската покупка. Няма значение. Та, long story short, достатъчно време къде дадеш на биткоин, най-старите ти покупки са зверски на печалба. Почваш да харчиш тях. По-новите, волатилността просто не те интересува. Тя и гледаш все едно са заключени за 4 години напред. 4 години в бъдещето със сигурност тия покупки ще са зверски на печалба. Това, което съм купил аз на по 40-50к, ще го харча когато биткоин на 200-300к. Преди това просто няма го харча. Ако ще харча нещо, ще са ми старите покупки, които съм по 3000, по 4000, на 5000, на по 6000, по 10 000 долара за биткоин. И искам, примерно, на 100% да съм биткоин. Да нямам банкова сметка, да не имат соцът. В Англия в момента си поддържам една банкова сметка, която ми струва по 3 паунда на месец, другата ми струва по-скъпо, по 6-7-8 паунда на месец, може да каква е таксата. Съответно аз плащам по 15-20 лева, не повече, 20-30 лева в Англия и в България плащам за бизнес сметката 15 лева, за личната сметка не знам с колко лева, близо 50 лева плащам. Ако не и повече. Само в flat fee. Не говоря за транзакции, просто твърдо задължително. Това са 600 лева на година, аз плащам на банковата индустрия, за да съм част от нея. В момента, в който аз мога да приемам, да си харча биткоините директно чрез телефона, всички лични сметки ги закривам. Не ме интересува. Някой иска да ми плати, ще ми плати в биткоин. Няма приемам, за мен лично на частно, няма да приемам никакви други пари. През фирмата, да, окей, юрисдикции, там в България не знам с какво трябва. Кога станеш достатъчно голям, даже можеш да изискваш всички ти плащат задължително в биткоин. Примерно този Андреас Антополос от години. Искаш да го наемеш, искаш да ти дойде на конференцията, искаш да ти направи някаква правит презентация, няма проблем. Фия му, примерно преди години, сега вече, нали, друг ще са цифрите, е бил един биткоин. Трябва да купиш един биткоин на 3000 долара или на 5000 долара. Отиваш, купуваш, пращаш му го и той идва. Иначе не. Банкова сметка нямам, съжалявам. Приемам само плащане в биткоин. Но въпросът е по-това, този биткоин, че го харчиш. Трудно, по-трудно. Нали, пак благодарение на тия дебитни карти имаш възможност. Но сега вече няма да имаме нужда да минаваме през дебитните карти, няма да има нужда да минаваме през тези борси, през тези финтек компании, ами директно с биткоин ще разплащаме. Съответно, софтуера, бърдънсъна отива на страната на мърчанта, защото той трябва да им приеме парите. А не аз да се занимавам къде имам регистрации, за да мога да си платя.
To reflect on the day. All of you have spent a lot of time on this desk, absorbing this content, coming on this content. I want to hear your take on day one of Bitcoin 2022 GA. Alex, we'll start with you.
We need to protect our ability to innovate in this country and worldwide, and we need to start to think on an international scale. Like, where are people in the world? What payment systems are they using? And how can we streamline those? The answer, of course, is Bitcoin.
I have to say, if you're not here, you're missing out on the biggest party in Bitcoin by far. We've been hyping this up as Bitcoin Disneyland, and it has gone on and exceeded all expectations. We have over 25,000 people here. The energy is just infectious everywhere you go. I'm running on like 3 hours of sleep in the last 2 nights, and I think we're going to just keep the party rocking. I was always looking forward to Mahler's speech. He delivered. It's been incredible seeing the innovation that Bitcoin has pushed forward, and at the same time, too, we're also seeing conversations around government regulations. We're starting to see larger conversations around mining, energy. Bitcoiners are taking a stand. We're done getting pushed down into our little corner. We're done being told, wait, no, we don't want to do it like that. No, you take up too much energy. The dialogue is starting here. It stems from here, and we're going to change the world as a result of this conference.
Amen.
Yep, and it's phenomenal, man. Just look around.
Look at the volcano.
Look at the volcano. It's mind-blowing, man. You've got people here from all over the world, not just this country, people from all over the world coming together, tens of thousands of people to talk about Bitcoin, learn about Bitcoin. These are some of the brightest, most innovative people in the world who are here right now all in one place, and I'm happy to be here. It feels like an honor, and it's phenomenal, man. Excited about tomorrow.
Awesome. I'm excited too. Zuby, Q, Alex, this was awesome being able to witness this history happen in life. Y'all, this has been the Bitcoin live stream, or live desk. We are going to go to commercial break and be back. Cheers. Why don't you tell a little bit about your story and what you're doing here at Marathon?
Yeah, certainly. I had the benefit of falling into the space in 2013. As many fell down the rabbit hole. I bounced around some startups, bounced around the investing side of things, spent some time at Kraken, the exchange, and was lucky enough to find my way to Marathon in November on the strategy team. It's been super exciting pairing that background in cryptocurrency with the world of energy grids, talking about kilowatt hours and understanding what is the underlying infrastructure to all of this excitement here. And it's been quite the ride.
Speaking of underlying infrastructure, we just witnessed Jack Mallers announce that he is going to embark on the challenge of replacing the antiquated credit card network and payment processing network system that fuels our merchant systems. Tell us about that announcement and what your impression of that.
Incredibly exciting, especially speaking for us as a miner. Anything that encourages people to use the Bitcoin network more, onboards more people onto the Bitcoin system is exciting for us. So super exciting times. I know following along on Twitter off to the side, I know some skepticism. There might have been different expectations for what was happening. But it seemed like Twitter was trending super positive, Bitcoin price trending super positive. An announcement came, especially with the in-person ability to spend these things. So very exciting times ahead. And I think that's what's exciting about cryptos. You never know what someone's going to come out with.
So does this mean Marathon will start spending some of their 9,000 plus Bitcoins on Stack?
We're a big fan of holding on to that Bitcoin.
Love to hear it.
It's hard to justify letting go of some of it. It's fun having that big pile. I think we're the 5th biggest public company holder, and hopefully we'll keep climbing those ranks. There's some high bars out there with MicroStrategy, but we'll see what we can do.
Love it.
Talk to us a little bit also about what Marathon is trying to cook up, what you guys are looking to develop over the course of the next year.
Yeah, I think there's a big focus, obviously, on deployment and trying to install more miners, focus on green energy, carbon neutrality, as has always been the focus of Marathon. Moving forward, I think we're having more and more of a focus on just empowering the ecosystem. So how can we inspire new developers to come into the Bitcoin space? What should we be doing with the layer 2 space in terms of, again, finding more ways to onboard people and new use cases onto the Bitcoin ecosystem? Spending a good amount of our time on new green energy sources, energy storage technology. It's seems simple. You just plug this machine in and it starts spitting out some money, but it's the intersection of lots and lots of industries. And it's kind of one of the reasons I love it is it's the crypto tech people, but it's also, muddy boots on the ground in Texas making this actually happen. And it's that combination, which I think is the real magic and what gets me out of it every day.
So is a foray into volcano mining on the table?
I would be a big fan here. I'll push that up with a strategy agenda at Marathon. The more volcanoes, the better in my book.
We've got a volcano here in case you guys want it.
It looks like that can crank out a couple exahash if we get the proper equipment in here. Where's the plug to this big thing? And we're ready to go.
So I want to jump in and just talk about the environment here. Like, it is absolutely electric. I've never seen so many Bitcoiners in one room, 25,000 people. Right before the Jack Mallers announcement, the expo hall, which we are stationed in, was absolutely packed. Things have thinned out a little bit after Jack sucked the air out of the room. But it is still hustling and bustling here late into the evening. What was your expectations for day one, and what's your impression?
Yeah, I thought it was going to be busy, but it has exceeded those expectations and across every dimension. Sitting here at the Marathon booth, it's been exciting to have of course, the normal people we expected to come and speak with us, whether it be power providers, new miner manufacturers, university professors have been coming up, university students have been coming up. It's quite the collection of people, as well as just, people that have coming from 3D printing industry that's looking for the next big thing, and they think Bitcoin and crypto is that. And so, huge diversity of people, which I think is just a strong signal to that more and more people are learning and getting excited.
What are you looking forward to for tomorrow?
Tomorrow, I think there's a lot of good discussions.
Спирам го, това е. Това ще го паузирам тук и така. Браво на Джак Мауърс, деливърна. Както говорих за унъс компания, че не мога да сети името й. Как се казваш? Унъс компания. Какви бяха, бе? Не Бакт, но какви бяха там. Имаше една компания, дет много пушва за интеграция с банките. И толкова много работа свършиха. И така, те са някакви дет правят някакви неща, ще ги осъзнаем след няколко години. Защото ще излядат някакви новини, които са били зависими от тия новини и ако не са били те, няма да стигнат до там, където сме, яда. Та, в момента това, което те са направили, ако аз правилно разбирам, е, че 17% от всичките point of sale терминали в целия свят в момента имат апгрейд софтуер, който да даде възможност да приемат биткоини директно през Strike апликацията, директно през който си избереш Lightning Network Wallet, са включително напълно анонимни и non-custodial, или както и възможността телефона ти да генерира QR код, който те с Sony спусък там да го сканират и така да стане плащането. Всякакви неща са направили и естествено 17% от point of sale терминалите в целия свят не означава, че на 17% в света можеш да плащаш днес. Не означава това. Защото трябва мърчанта, фирмата, компанията да се регистрира с тях, за да може да получава биткоин разплащания, които идват в долари, в евро, в лева, в юани, в който си искат. Така че да, но в момента е сигурно нещо рода на 5% или 2-3% поне. От point of sale пост терминалите в целият свят приемат биткоини днес. Нали, не е чак толкова много, но тук що стана таковата заявлението, не знам кой казва. Лудница. Големи новини. Така че дори това да е единствена най-голяма новина от цялата конференция, просто ево, но само да добавя коментар за като цяло конференцията. Имаше изяде много хейт, защото наистина се направи някаква супер корпоративна, супер само се рекламират някакви компании, някакви шиткоини, Web3, NFT-та, не знам си какво и така нататък, уж е биткоин конференция. Има ли NFT-та върху биткоин? Няма NFT-та. Няма говорим за NFT-та тогава. Ще говорим само за биткоин, за какво може да прави биткоин и така нататък. Ти остай. Стейблкоин можем да имаме върху биткоин. Може да имаш DeFi върху биткоин. Естествено можеш. По същия начин, който имаш Ethereum мрежата, имаш Layer 2, които работят върху това, може да се изгради върху биткоин Layer 2 с умни договори. Даже има в момента един DeFi, който просто трябва да Google на биткоин DeFi и ще ми само скажам биткоин DeFi. Как се каже, не мога да се сетя. Има едно нещо, което просто има много малка ликвидност на фона на такова. Не ми излиза. Няма, не излиза. Точно това просто ще никой не го използва за това. Малка ликвидността там. Long story short, върху биткоин може да се изгради всичко. Нали, не съм биткоин макс, има място за иновации, има място за тестове, има място за стартъп компании един вид, но биткоин е най-децентрализиран, най-труден за спиране, най-всичко. Най-големия шанс избор за успех и за изместен на банковата система. Затова той е на първо място. Той трябва да се подкрепя на първо място. Да, няма лошо, с всичко друго, няма лошо, но просто биткоин е най-важният, в пъти по-важен от абсолютно всичко друго. Кой иска да кажа? Че изялха много хейт, но реално това, което аз виждам е следното. Ужасно много бизнеси, ужасно много пари, ужасно много милионери, ужасно много милиардери, ужасно много политици, ужасно много регулатори са там на конференцията, което означава, че край. Аз това го повтарям вече от над една година. Край. Биткоин спечели. Край. Няма да го спрат. Не могат да го спрат. Осъзнават го. Просто си мислят как да си изиграят правилно картите. Защо баба Елен си промени мнението? Защо започна да клеква? Защо сега как се казва ония на Сека? Че не мога да сети името. На Сека Черман. Чакай само секунда. Сек Черман. Гари Генслър. Гари Генслър е натиснал пилно баба Елен. Заради това. Един след друг падат доминото. Президента на Съединените американски щати, най-мощната държава в света, написа Executive Order, в която той заявява, командва всички регулатори, бизнеси, държавата и нас да таковата адопцията. Лудница е това, което се случва. Лудница е. Просто не го осъзнаем, защото са някакви думи, дете нямат никаква стойност. Нищо нещо да решава. Ма биткоина, що падна тогава? Що падна биткоина? Чикондур. Айде, лека нощ.